One club is flying high on an undefeated run to start their season 4-0. Can they make it 5 against the club that is just playing its 4th game total? And a reminder that nothing is guaranteed in the Midwest Premier League Gateway South. As this is non-league soccer in America, this is Club Atlético St. Louis versus St. Louis Stars. And if these two teams sound familiar for you, well, we are covering the inverse of the game that I covered a couple weeks ago in Cottleville, where Club Atlético beat St. Louis Stars at their temporary home 2-1. Now we are on the campus of DeSmet High School in Creve Coeur, St. Louis. And as you can see, it is usually a football field, so we got to deal with football lines. But to answer the question, which line will players have to follow in order to keep the ball in bounds? Guesses in the comments below. I'm going to show you in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert, it's already on screen. Yellow. The Bluebirds of Club Atlético and the red and white St. Louis Stars have to follow yellow today. So if you got yellow in the comments, give yourself a pat on the back. So Club Atlético, they are actually in a tough stretch of games right now. Both of these teams are actually. We're getting into the real meat of the season as we are at the halfway point in the entire Midwest Premier League Gateway South. This is the second of 3 matches that Club Atlético are playing in 5 days. Now, just 2 nights ago at St. Louis Development Academy, they ended up winning 2-1 on this last-minute goal, literally, by Jack Ridley. And last minute because it was the 86th minute when Ridley scored. And maybe a minute and a half later, they called the game because of lightning. And that was that. They ended up winning 2-1. St. Louis Dev Academy played strong. They actually got the equalizer in the 75th minute. Looked like they were going to get a point, but instead, Dev Academy has now lost 4 straight, whereas Club Atlético has won 4 straight. So real turning of the tides for both clubs. Dev Academy looked like they were going to be very strong to start the year, and it just has not worked out that way the past few games. They've had a real power outage on offense. As for St. Louis Stars, this is only their 4th match of the year so far. They are second to last in the table right now, just above AFC Columbia. But again, a lot of St. Louis Stars' schedule is going to be coming up in this next month or so. They're supposed to be going back to Creve Coeur Soccer Park before the end of the season. I might be covering one of those games here. I'll flash the schedule for you right now. But I'm going to make a determination on those a little bit later on, those 2 you see there, the 2 days that I have flexed. Actually, I will say for that last week, I may not have to flex those because ATAR is talking about moving that game to 1 o'clock, and then Boss will play at 5, so you might get a doubleheader on that last episode. Oh, and St. Louis Stars, by the way, they have to play 2 games within the span of 24 hours. So they're kicking off this game tonight at 8 o'clock, which is a relief because it's basically Mordor out here in terms of weather. It's mid-90s today. And then they have to turn around and go to AFC Columbia tomorrow at 5. So it's going to be really curious to see how St. Louis Stars rotates tonight. Do they start a stronger squad tonight against Atlético and a weaker one against a weaker opponent tomorrow in Columbia? Or do they go the opposite and start the strong squad against Columbia, try to get 3 points for sure, and then maybe take it easy against Atlético? Atlético, on the other hand, they might take this one easy because they started a strong squad Wednesday night at Dev Academy. They got this game tonight, and then Sunday they play at Boffs. We'll talk to both coaches and get their mentality going into this one. Alrighty, head coach Ricky Garza, Club Atlético, undefeated. Club Atlético 4-0 so far. How you feeling about things, man? You got to be flying high right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna know here by the end of this warm-up how the boys are feeling. There's a lot of knocks from the Wednesday game, not having much of a rest. So I think we're gonna to be honest, I think we're gonna start off a little rough, probably the first 20, 25 minutes, and then I think we'll kind of come into our own. Guys will kind of go as long as they can. We'll utilize the bench heavily today. Yeah. I assume we're gonna have a water break because of the heat. They've already talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
We may even have 2 breaks. So it may come to our advantage, actually, because of the heat. We'll be able to stop for some water breaks.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to ask you about that too. You're in a tough stretch where you're playing 3 games in 5 days. This is the sandwich match between Wednesday and Sunday. So, I was going to ask you, do you anticipate your starting lineup having a fair bit of rotation?
Absolutely. Today we've used our full roster now. So today, which was our prediction, was by game 5, everyone we've registered, all 28 players would be used, and the last players were registered today. So we're missing some guys. We had the rotation kind of lined up, and it'll be exciting game 5 to see the new guys get out here.
Well, I want to talk about game 4 real quick. I was there in the stands watching, and once again, you guys just find a way. It was, Dev Academy, to their credit, they looked like they played a strong game. They got the equalizer in the 75th minute, but Ridley getting the game winner in the end, man. So, how do you guys keep finding ways to win?
Yeah, well, it's such a good tactical group, so each game has had to be tactics. Yeah. It's a really good league, really good competition. So, Developmental Academy, we knew they were going to be organized like the last game, like we thought. We knew we had to conserve energy because of this game today and the game in 48 hours from now. So we went out with a certain type of style that wasn't going to have us running a whole lot. Try to control the game, try to frustrate them, and everything was going to plan until Stanton kind of took a knock on his ankle, couldn't quite run as hard, and that was the goal that tied the game against us, was he couldn't recover for Danny, who stepped perfectly in the 3-back system we were playing, and the guy had a step on Stanton, went in and buried it, and the guys kind of looked over, what's our adjustment, Garza? And I just keep playing, because what we're doing is fine. I'll make the adjustment. So Lavelle, who's a killer at right back, we threw him up top, second striker, knew that would cause issues, and now Ridley knew he could take space and no one would mark Ridley. And that's how we got the goal, was everyone was so worried about Mustafa and Lavelle, and we played the same style we play, keep you moving, move you, and Ridley made a beautiful run, found him, put it in the back of the net, and luckily it was before the lightning came.
Yeah, literally. It was maybe a minute and a half before the lightning came.
Yeah.
So, Ridley called game, and so did God, in that regard. So, obviously, you're coming in with high confidence, 4 in a row here. Before this game, what are you telling your players going into this one? Are you trying to, keep that confidence up, or are you maybe trying to manage expectations a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely like to keep my teams humble.
Yeah.
I tell them we're playing really well and we got some results, but we could have given up goals because we weren't doing this well or this well, and we were lucky not to give up those goals. So they understood, hey, we got a clean sheet this game or that game where we gave up 1 goal, but coach knew there should have been 2 or 3 that didn't happen. So I think that keeps them on their toes a little bit. I've laid out what these guys can do against us if we let them do it, and so if we eliminate those chances that they can do, I'm confident on our offense and our young guys running these guys into the ground.
Very nice. Well, best of luck today, and try to stay cool. It's going to be tough.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Alrighty, I am here with Jack Ridley. Got the game-winning goal Wednesday night against St. Louis Dev Academy. First things first, let's walk back that goal real quick. It's a dying embers of the game. You got a storm coming in. What's going through your mind leading up to that goal?
I didn't really ever think that we were going to lose. We've had a bit of a good run recently, and I was just determined to make it not end 1-1, no matter if it went to 90 or not. Just get ahead and then deal with it after.
How are you feeling about things going this season?
Really confident. 4 in a row is obviously a great message to send out. We've never went on a run really like this, apart from I think my first year here. So yeah, it's really good, and it's really good for the club as well.
Yep. So viewers, you may have noticed the accent. You are from Perth, Scotland.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you: are you a St. Johnstone fan?
I should be, but no, I'm a Celtic fan.
You're a Celtic,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's fair. At least you're honest about it. At least you're totally honest. So what got you into Celtic?
I used to go to games with my granddad, so I just kind of took over from him. So yeah, and I miss it a lot.
Well, and St. Johnstone got relegated too this year, so
yeah,
you'll
it's probably a better fit for them.
Probably a better fit for them, yeah, honestly. And Celtic, I personally have not taken a side in that derby. I want to go see it someday.
I'll take one now, okay? You'll be a Celtic man now.
Well, I might be. I mean, although I did a Football Manager save with Hibernian, and I've kind of claimed them. So
Hibs aren't that bad.
Yeah, up the Hibs.
Yeah.
But as far as you, you're here in America. What brought you to America?
Just for college soccer, really. I was at JUCO for 2 years down in Union, Missouri Central, and then went to MOBAT for my last 2 years. So yeah.
Gotcha. So what are your goals in soccer? Are you hoping to play professionally somewhere?
I graduated in May, so I'm going on to coaching now. But I've won things in my second year, so just keeping fit over the summer and just putting in as much work as I can.
So no plans to go back to Scotland and try to work your way up the ladder there?
No, I love it here too much.
I don't blame you. Although you're probably not used to this weather in Scotland.
Not really, to be honest. I've got my friend over as well, and he's struggling too. But yeah, I'm not used to it at all.
Absolutely. So, well, best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you, man.
And congrats on the goal on Wednesday night.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so you just heard from Club Atletico's gaffer as well as the game-winning goal scorer from Wednesday night. Confident but humble, definitely the right mentality over the long haul of a season, and we'll see if Atletico can continue their momentum against the Stars, who are really just kind of getting their feet under them. So let's go ahead and have a chat with Jason Hill, the assistant coach of the St. Louis Stars, and get a look at what their mentality is going into this one. All right, I'm here with St. Louis Stars assistant coach Jason Hill, and Jason, early start to the season for you. You've only played 3 games. This is game number 4, so probably not the start you've wanted so far, but still a lot of time to work your way up, right?
Absolutely. We got a lot of newer guys on our squad, so we're kind of working out who fits where. We're starting to score goals more often. Our goalies are really doing well. Just gelling. Like you said, just kind of getting everybody in the flow and working together. So.
Yeah, and I know you're one of the teams in this league that kind of backloaded, your schedule. You're going to be playing the bulk of your season, over the next month or so. But the last time we saw you, you were at Cottleville. You played Club Atletico, who are now undefeated going into the season. So how do you feel Atletico, and how do you feel about your chances against them tonight?
I think we know them well. Yeah, they're a fast, hard-playing team. They move the ball well. We just have to match that. We have to come out strong and fast. It seems like a couple games we kind of started slow, then we woke up a little bit and got more stuff going on. So I think if we attack them and play our speed game and our physical game as well, we'll have a better chance to give them their first loss of the season.
Well, so it sounds like you're going to be, focusing hard on this one. And I was going to ask you, because you're playing 2 games within the span of 24 hours. Yeah. So you've got Atletico tonight, and then you travel to Columbia tomorrow. So what's the rotation going to be like for your lineup tonight?
Well, luckily we have about 12 guys, extra guys that aren't here tonight. So we're going to play those guys tomorrow.
Oh, smart.
We'll probably need to take about 6 of these guys. Yeah. It's supposed to be like 104 or something. The real feel, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. There's some talk that they might move the game to the after, later in the month. I don't know how it's going to get better though. It's summertime is here, so.
Well, it might help you guys out. It might help you guys out because you won't be playing back-to-back games.
Yeah.
In theory, so.
That's theory, in short, but it's a turnaround is a little bit quick, but we'll make it work. The boys are in shape. Water's flowing good, so they'll be all right.
Well, speaking of making it work, you've been at Cottleville this season, your temporary home. Last I heard, you're looking at the last 2 games at being back at your regular home. Is that correct?
That's what it sounds like, yeah. They're playing the elite finals now on the turf there. Yeah. Creve Coeur Park, so it's all looking good. I think the lights are coming back up again, so I think we'll be back there for the final games.
Looking forward to that.
Good, yeah.
Looking forward to that home cooking again.
That's where our crowd knows where we're going to be at. We don't have to tell everybody, hey, we're here or there. So.
And you've actually got amenities there, so
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You got scoreboard and all that.
So. Stand, speakers, yeah, everything.
Well, I might have to pay you a visit.
Brings the hype up.
Absolutely. Exactly. Well, best of luck to you today,
man. Thanks, Zombie.
Yep. There, I did my part. So we've been at places that don't have scoreboards. We've been at places that have scoreboards, but the power was out. And we've been at places that do have scoreboards. Ladies and gentlemen, the first video scoreboard of our Midwest Premier League journey. Spotted out in the wild, an MPSL ball from Atletico's MPSL days. And I just heard a fun story from Ricky about those MPSL balls that you saw earlier. So at the game at Dev Academy Wednesday, Dev Academy has a problem with losing game balls into the woods because there's really no way of stopping balls going into the woods there. So they actually had to use some of those MPSL balls at a Midwest Premier League game on Wednesday. So don't throw away those old league balls if you are a semi-pro club switching leagues, because you never know when you're going to need them. They got out here a little bit late because, again, it is in the mid-90s today. The sun is starting to go behind the building there, so by the time the game gets going, it should be a lot nicer. But I will say that I don't blame these teams at all for staying in the locker room a little bit longer. And because Stars had to stay in the locker room a little bit longer, they were a little late getting going on their training, and they were not able to provide a player for me to interview this time around. So if you enjoy those interviews, sorry about that. Is this pavilion nicer than the one at St. Louis Dev Academy? I'll show you the gazebo from there first, and then I'll show you this one here. What do you think? Leave a comment below. So here's a look at the seating arrangements at Desmet. You've got a bleacher set up here that is kind of built into the hill, literally here. So you're in a bit of a pit around here. You got a full track, which personally, I'm never a fan of tracks at soccer games, but I get it's America. You got to work with what you got here. And this is a nice pitch, to be fair. Nice wooded area. This is kind of an affluent area of the St. Louis County area here. You got the Smet High School here, a very prestigious private Catholic school in the St. Louis area. Merch stand is right up there. So these jerseys here are actually brand new. They are debuting them this game here. It's a bit of an alternate of their existing setup here, but with some sleeker lines. Really nice. They sell these at games for just $30. Got a couple training kits here for $20. And then you've got a supporter shirt here for $30. And it appears that our Scran du jour a little later on, once this gets going, will be kettle corn. I mean, it's not exactly the dinner of champions, but I'm sure it's tasty. By the way, that kettle corn stand, first ever food vendor at a Club Atletico game. So we're coming along here. And then, yeah, you got the press box up there. And speaking of which, I might be in there for the second half. Details to come. And the St. Louis Stars went into the locker room for a bit. They've come out just right before kickoff here. Don't blame them at all because it is hot, so you got to stay hydrated.
Number 7, Mustafa Hassan. Number 14, your captain, Jack Ridley. Number 15, Jack Ridley.
All right, here we go. It's Club Atletico looking to make it 5-5 against a St. Louis Stars club that is finding its feet from under them. Should be a cracker today, guys. And I want to thank everyone that has enjoyed these videos so far. Didn't know how well they would do. You guys seem to enjoy them. So if you do, follow the instructions on the bottom of the screen below. Likes help this channel out. Subscriptions help this channel out. Helps get this video out to more viewers like you, which is why I do these videos, is because I believe in this St. Louis-based league. I think fans would really love this league if they just knew about it. And those likes and those subscribes and those shares really do help, not just forget me. It helps the league, it helps these kids, and it helps the game of soccer in St. Louis. Oh, early promising chance for Atletico straight off the kickoff here, but defended, and that'll get called for a push. So the sun already has mostly fallen behind at least this little hill here and also behind the trees, which means it already feels so much better out here. I can't even begin to describe how much better it feels. Almost went out of bounds on a bad back pass. There you go, bud. Out of the corner. Oh, good save. In the mixer. And Stars are on the board, 1-0. Not the start that Atletico was hoping for, and really not the one that I don't think they were expecting either, as Atletico had the Stars pinned on this side of the field behind me here for much of the first half so far, but sometimes it just takes one break. Great effort by that right winger to keep the ball in bounds, get it in the mixer, and finding a man coming in off the back post. 1-0 Stars. And that could be a big goal, not just for this game, but for Stars as well, as they had a little bit of trouble scoring the first couple of games. Still early in the season for them. They could still dig their way into the title reckoning, and this kind of start for them is exactly what they would want. Good effort. You know, Club Atletico, Ricky Garza, you know how to take care of your content creators. I think I'm going to take this chair. Thank you very much. Oh, it's a good looking ball. Man, maybe you should have taken a shot there. Too far. Oh, that was a blown chance for Atletico right there. I mean, I get the player wanting to be unselfish, but he had a direct line on net. Oh, that's trouble, but the goalie comes out. Oh, still trouble. Well defended by the keeper, trying to find someone in the box, no one home. Man alive, 2 golden chances deep in the Stars box for Atletico. No goal to show for it, though, but it looks like Atletico is very eager to even this score up here. Oh, Stars making those long balls work for them. Has resulted in 1 goal already and almost a second.
A few moments later.
Oh, what a move. What a move. 2-0. All generated off of a turnover. And well done in the final third for Stars. They're now up 2-0 over the undefeated Club Atletico St. Louis. As this pro Club Atletico crowd in kind of stunned silence right now. But the St. Louis Stars are no pushovers themselves, to be fair. They just hadn't played very much this season at all. And, you know, something that Jason talked to before the game, the assistant coach, was how they are starting to click. And we are seeing them click really nicely here today, to be fair. But this division is, I think it's just a meat grinder, because you have teams that are pretty similar in skill and ability in coming from the same region. And so these games will happen. These upsets, quote unquote, will happen. We'll see by the end of the season whether this match here is truly an upset or not. Ooh. That gets the call, and we got a dangerous free kick now. A bit too far for a direct shot, so look for this one to be in the mixer. Headed away, and also offside. Oh, that's promising. Oh, out of bounds, but corner. Ah. Well, you saw it all over number 14, the frustration of this first half for Club Atletico going into the locker room 2-0. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they come out here in this upcoming second half here, which I'm going to do a little differently here, and I'm going to show you in just a little bit how. But first things first, let's get some Scran. It's a party in the merch tent here. All right, let's get some Scran going here, some kettle corn. What do we got going on here?
We got the caramel corn and we got the original kettle corn.
Caramel and the original. You know what? I'm going to do the caramel. Caramel sounds really good.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Jamga kettle corn.
Jamga kettle corn, man. I understand this is your first time here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So pretty cool. You got a soccer outlet now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Good deal, man. Can't wait to try it, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, here we go. We got Jamga caramel corn right here. I'm gonna tuck it in the arm like a true fatty. See how these are. Oh, that's good. Very good. Sweet and salty. It's like a perfect balance of sweet and salty. A pretty light snack overall. They give you plenty. I mean, they give you this whole big old bag here, so you get good value for it. I think it was $7. Yeah, this is a solid 10 out of 10 Scran here. Check this place out, and really check out Club Atletico as well if you're in the St. Louis area. This is a really nice setup here they have at the Smet. Good seating area, good feel, comfortable. They got a merch tent back there, and as you can see, ticket prices very inexpensive. Always like giving local clubs money instead of the bigger clubs of the world because, you know, jersey sales like here at Club Atletico, they depend on these. Whereas a team like St. Louis City, if you don't buy a jersey from them, they'll probably be okay.
Soccer Zombie was here to help me out today.
How's it going, bud?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. It's been a little while since I've held a headset to do some broadcasting here, but I'm sure you're gonna lead the way for me here pretty nicely. Here we go. Big stop.
Great save.
Still a lot of season left to be played. I do have a scoring update from ATAR tonight. ATAR taking on St. Louis Development Academy. At last check, late in the second half, ATAR was leading 2-1. So that's another team that can make Atletico sweat a little bit.
Yeah, if they win that game, they'll be having 10 points because they're sitting at 7.
If there is a silver lining in this tough stretch for them where they're playing 3 games in 5 days, is that they don't have to travel very far. And that's a nice change from the NPSL where you had to go up to Wisconsin at times and places like that. Here you don't even have to leave the same area code.
I went with Atletico to one of their games 7 hours away.
Wow.
And I think that was the longest trip of the season, maybe second.
I want to give a quick shout out to Jamga Kettle Corn, setting up shop here for the fans here today. Do you like caramel corn?
Yeah.
Would you like some?
I've not had it in a while.
Let me know what you think.
That is really good.
Really good. It's a good balance of salty and sweet, isn't it?
It like almost dissolves in your mouth perfectly.
It does. It really does. Support your local businesses. By the way, for those of you watching and have never been to a Club Atletico game, this man right here not only is the play-by-play announcer, but he also is the public address announcer here at the stadium, a man of many talents. And great job on the PA mic today earlier.
Thank you. He has pretty good strong throw.
There it is. Oh. Woo! And that'll be a card of the yellow variety.
Second card for the game, one for both teams.
Alright, back out into the world I go. You got the nice pavilion over here. And now we go back to the YouTube grind. By the way, that is the coach for Club Atletico, Ricky Garza's son, not just on the play-by-play duties, but also on the public address duties. Respect the youth that like that type of hustle. And again, a lot of soccer and clubs at this level, it's really all about what you make of it. Teams like Club Atletico, AFC Colombia, ATAR, they really try to have a good fan experience. They try to connect with their fans and their community, and that's highly commendable. But they have to take the initiative to do that. And so someone like AFC Colombia, they have a dedicated YouTube broadcast. ATAR goes through Prepcast, which is a local broadcasting service. I know their broadcasters personally. And then you got Club Atletico here, where, this young man is in there doing work and trying to get better himself, just like these players out here that are, taking a hydration break right now. It's all about improvement, and it's all about taking the opportunities that you have to work on your craft. And so it's very commendable. Am I vlogging the wrong game here? This looks pretty fun. Ooh, that almost was a dagger. Starting to see a bit of desperation like you just saw there from Atletico, trying to pump it deep, and it's just not finding a happy home. As you can see here, time is slipping away. That's not my apple cinnamon go-go squeeze. Don't litter. And that one's going into the parking lot. Now, in case you're wondering what that whooshing sound is, there is a fountain back there. Oh, goalward just over the goal post. That does not count for 3 points. All right, I'm here with the game-winning goalkeeper, Mason Beck, here for St. Louis Stars. 2-0 win. That's 2 games in 2. How you feeling, man?
It was a good win for the guys. We got to rest up good. We got a game tomorrow in Columbia, so got to wake up early, get down there, and play great again. We played great today. We switched our lineup up. We were playing 3 in the back. We've usually been playing 4. And it seemed to work a lot better. We've been having troubles in the midfield, and having more guys in the midfield seemed to really help us today.
So tomorrow, do you think you're going to be playing in between the pipes tomorrow, or?
No, Mick will be in tomorrow.
Oh, it'll be mixed. So
yeah.
you're taking a day. I mean, that's a tough ask to do. 2 games in 24 hours, especially because it's supposed to be like triple digits tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely.
And we had 2 scrimmages this week, so let me take it easy.
Man, no rest for the weary, man. Yeah. Well, good game today, man.
Nice to meet you.
Wow, so the Gateway South has officially been thrown into a blender. Atletico suffered their first defeat of the season, and Stars climb right into the thick of it with their second win in a row. And speaking of in the thick of it, both of these teams are watching ATAR and St. Louis Development Academy to see what they can do. They're playing over in Belleville tonight, and Tom, for the future, how did that game go?
Well, I mentioned during the game that ATAR was leading St. Louis Dev Academy 2-1, and that is how that score would hold. Thanks to Ryan Fraley for these videos. He attended this past Friday night. And this game was a little bit chippy at times, both during the game as well as after the game. As again, we're in the business portion of the season. Teams are jockeying for position. Unfortunately, St. Louis Dev Academy losing probably puts them out of the title hunt at this point, but ATAR winning keeps them in the pace of things, as we'll get to a little later on. At AFC Columbia on Saturday, proof that a whole season can come down to just a couple of moments. AFC Columbia appearing to go ahead 1-0 on this late goal. However, refs ruled that during the cross, the ball went out of bounds. They discussed this for a while after the goal. They made the determination. Columbia fans probably feeling wronged in that decision. And then just like the week before against Boffs, Columbia suffers a loss thanks to a stoppage time goal. This time, the Stars getting a late breakout and putting it by to take the 1-0 win in Columbia and really change the course of this whole season and division, as Stars are now in the thick of the title race all of a sudden with 2 wins in less than 24 hours. And Columbia, it's just one of those seasons. And then in our other match this past weekend, it was Club Atlético capping off their 3 games in 5 days binge at Boffs, and it would end up being Boffs taking a 2-1 win. I had a chance to stop by briefly this game as I had other commitments on Sunday night, and this game didn't actually start on time. Live in the non-leagues, man. And it turns out it was because the goals needed to be anchored first. You know, just those little non-league things that need to happen. I spoke to Club Atlético coach Ricky Garza after the game, and he said that Atlético really missed their chances. They had at least 3 opportunities in front of goal that they could not put away. Meanwhile, Boffs had this penalty kick and then another goal to take the 2-1 win and now sit tied with Atlético at the top of the Gateway South. And because they have won their one head-to-head match, if the season ended today, they would be the Gateway South champions. However, these 2 clubs will play again on July 11th at Club Atlético, and that is a game that I am leaning towards covering at this point. Apologies to St. Louis Stars, although we'll see after this weekend how the division shakes out. Here's what's coming up this week in the Gateway South. Thursday, June 26th, Club Atlético hosts ATAR in a 6-pointer. ATAR looking to get a W and stay in the title hunt, but a loss puts them a fair bit behind Club Atlético with some work to do. Then coming up on Saturday, June 28th, it's going to be a doubleheader on this channel as Boffs will host St. Louis Dev Academy at 1 o'clock, and that'll be at St. Mary's High School in South City. And then after a little bit of a break, ATAR will host AFC Columbia at 7 p.m. And I'm going to cover both of those games for this channel. It'll be a 2-parter this coming weekend. I will also stop by that Thursday Atlético game as well to get some footage for one of those videos this weekend. And since this will be the last games before the 4th of July break, I'll go ahead and mention that next Wednesday, St. Louis Stars will host AFC Columbia. This game was originally scheduled for earlier on in the season. However, the game had to be moved due to weather concerns. But this will be the only game during the 4th of July week in the Gateway South, as most teams are taking a holiday break. And if you continue to enjoy this series, make sure to follow the instructions on the bottom of your screen, and let me know in the comments below who you think ends up taking the Gateway South. Right now, again, it's Boffs and Atlético at the tippy top, but ATAR and Stars are nipping at their heels. A really exciting finish to this division, but let me know who you think ends up pulling away. This is your Soccer Zombie, Tom Franklin here, and one of the games I'm going to be covering this week is Peoria City at St. Louis Ambush. I'm going to hang out with the Peoria City fans because I kind of owe them. And if you watch this video, you'll see why I owe Peoria City a full game.